This is the Ricochet Report. The Ricochet Report.
Welcome to the Ricochet Report, the show that talks everything and anything firearms. I'm your host, Brad. And guys, it's obvious I have been MIA for a little bit now, about a month. Why is that? Let's get into it all. So I have been working my rear end off between full-time job as well as all the teaching I've been doing. I've been teaching at multiple different locations, working on a bunch of projects, and that's what I'm kind of getting into. Is I'm really trying to transition, not from the podcast. The podcast will continue, but I really want to get into video work. I want to get more into gear reviews, training videos, things like that. That's really what I want to get into between Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. If there's other places, I guess there too. But those are the real main goals, Instagram and YouTube. And that's really hard with the shadow banning and everything that goes on in the firearms industry as far as social media likes us. So it's a challenge, but I'm trying to put out quality content. I don't want to put out mediocre stuff. I want to put out good quality stuff. So I've been really working on that. On that note, I am actually, and if you remember, I did an episode a little while ago with Josiah of Critical Training Solutions. I am actually in his house right now recording this podcast. He is not even here. He is at work. He had to go to work today. But I'm right now in his house in Southwest Florida doing this episode because we worked on a project together along with Unit Solutions, which is pretty cool. So if you're familiar with Unit Solutions, they make an AR style platform, which is a non-firearm according to the ATF. And it is for non-live training ammunition. They have their own proprietary both marking and non-marking rounds that come out of the rifle. And we did a very cool project yesterday, or I should say several projects yesterday using these rifles. We kind of did a active shooter CQB style response class, or not exactly a class, but more of a video of responding to something like that. And I got to work with someone named JT who is really, really cool. He does pretty much all the video work for Critical Training Solutions, and he's incredible at it. And we had another hand there helping also, which was awesome. And so we did that. Then we also did some other stuff with the Unit Solutions guns. We were testing to see how far they could actually reach because it's powered by CO2. So you're talking about an air rifle essentially. And we were outdoors on a rather windy day, and we were seeing how far we can get the gun to reach. And obviously you have to understand it's kind of like at that point, like shooting a paintball gun, where you're kind of lobbing it at that distance because it's not meant for that. But that was just a fun little idea to see how far we can get those to go. And then after that, we actually did a little 4-on-4 stuff, a little 3-on-3 action, where we did a searching team and then guys hiding throughout a couple different buildings that we had access to. So we actually did all this at an abandoned prison that we had access to, which was pretty cool. So rather creepy. Lots of barbed wire and razor wire, and yeah, I mean this. It was awesome. It was really, really cool. And I'm excited to see how everything comes out on video, but we had some fun doing that. And what we talked about is Josiah and I want to actually put on some home defense one-man room clearing classes coming up in the future. So look out on Critical Training Solutions pages for that. I will actually be flying down to Florida to teach those classes under the CTS name in Southwest Florida. So if you're interested in that, whether you live in the area or it's a class that you're willing to travel to take, it's going to be a good one, and we're going to be putting those on a few times a year just because being in New York, I can't travel all that often, but I love to travel to Florida whenever I can. I've got family here, and I got friends here, so I'm certainly willing to do so, and I'd love to expand my training locations because that's a big goal of mine, is to be able to make a living teaching, and I do want to be able to travel to different locations to teach. It's definitely a goal of mine. When you can travel and do what you love at the same time, that's pretty awesome. So that's really what's been going on lately. This is going to be a pretty short episode. It's more of just a catch up on what's coming up. We're talking about video projects, things that are coming up in the future. I do have a lot of gear reviews. I'm not going to be doing these like general, like, oh, a new gun just hit the market gear reviews. I don't really see a need for that. There's so many people that are doing it already. I'm going to be doing more specific things to maybe accessories that I like or things that I've added in. I'm going to be doing a whole dry fire series. There's already a ton of people that have quality dry fire content out there. I mean, there's books on it by Ben Stoker. There's plenty of guys who are big on dry fire and put out videos and books and whatnot. I'm just going to be doing my own. Some of it is not even going to be original content, and I will obviously say that I'm not looking to steal anyone's work. It's more just showing things that I do to train and whatnot, some drills, training advice, a lot of shorter videos. And I know the attention span of people, especially if they're not fully into the content, is not going to be there if I go too long on them. So, we'll be talking about all of that. Oh, and that's one of the things we did with the Uni Solutions guns is I kind of broke them down since we work with them so much at Trinity Training Complex. I'm very familiar with them. I'm very familiar with the owner, Cody. So we did a breakdown on how the guns work and what they're capable of and what you can and can't do with them. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming. You can look out on Critical Training Solutions pages, and I'll also be posting the videos on my pages on YouTube and on Instagram, and you can look out for that. As far as the competition side of things going, I haven't been able to shoot a competition in quite a few months now, but we have a lot coming up right after April. I don't think I have any in April, but May is when it starts, and it's going hot after that. We got May, June, July, August, September, and October. I have tons of traveling for competitions going on. A lot of big, pretty much all of them are above a level 2 or above, shooting area matches, nationals, and just traveling for some other ones. So a lot of cool stuff coming up that I'm excited for on the competition side of things. As far as classes that I'm teaching, let's talk about that. So scheduled classes in April, I got 2 coming up. You can come shoot Carbine 201. You can sign up via Trinity Training Complex. I'll be one of the instructors there that day. That's going to be out on Lipsa in West Hampton Beach, Long Island. And then the following weekend is going to be a live fire tech med class. Understand the primary goals of the class is for you to understand medicine in the combative, tactical, defensive environment, right? We're talking about the nitty-gritty medicine that it takes to stay alive and dealing with traumatic injuries just due to the nature of the class, but what can start as traumatic can also lead to internal problems that you're experiencing and how to fix those. So we're going to be talking about that, and there will be live fire in that class, but the primary thing is not really going to be running your gun. It's going to be learning about how to run your gun after you sustain such injuries, but it's not going to be an intensive fire class. It's more going to be about how to manipulate your firearm to continue to stay in the fight until you or they are obviously taken out of it, and we'd prefer they. That's why we train. So those are some of the live fire classes we have coming up. I also have a pepper spray class coming up. I have some more concealed carry classes that I'm teaching for New York. So if you're in the New York area, specifically like New York City, Long Island, we have a couple of different classes for concealed carry coming up because, hey, if you can get your permit, why not do it? Let's all get certified so that we can get our concealed carry permits and make our city a safer place for everyone, including, most importantly, ourselves and our loved ones. So make sure to do that. That is really important. I don't really think I got anything else going on. We talked about projects. We talked about classes. We talked about what's the latest. I've also been super busy planning. I'm getting married in November, the day before Thanksgiving. So been really busy planning the wedding stuff, which I'm sure, as you all know, is just tons of fun and smooth sailing, no arguing whatsoever. So that's going well. Man, I think that's really it. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to be coming back to Southwest Florida anyway to hang out with Josiah and JT and those guys. And we're going to be doing, besides the classes that we just talked about, we're going to be doing some more video content stuff, putting out some cool projects. I can't talk about it too much right now, but if you look at our Instagram pages, whether you're on CTS's or the Ricochet Reports Instagram page, you'll definitely see we were doing some hood rat stuff with ski masks and whatnot. So that was fun. Also, I'll be talking about a couple of things. I did in the nature of coming here, I had to fly with some firearms, some NFA items. So I'll talk about how to fly with firearms. That's a big one. I always encourage people to carry and train everywhere they legally can, and that means if you live in one part of the country and you want to travel to another part, how to do so. And we'll talk about making sure that you're in compliance with local law, how to travel on a commercial airline, how to deal with TSA. As well as the ATF if you're traveling with NFA items. There are some forms, some paperwork that you got to do, but it's really easy. It's not a whole lot. So I'll talk about that. That's something we'll definitely touch base on. And there was also another thing I wanted to mention. Let me think for a second. I just saw it on my phone. Products. So I've had t-shirts for quite a while now available, and I'm still working on getting the website live, up and running. But as far as products go that are available, I'm going to be putting out very soon some swag packs. So it's going to be some stickers, patches, pins, and some cool other little novelty items that you can purchase to support the Ricochet Report. We obviously also have the shooting jerseys. Now we work with Ugly Paintball, a company I used to work with when I played competitive paintball, and was one of our sponsors, and they produce amazing quality jerseys. So they're making our shooting jerseys now, and our shooting jerseys are available in like a standard tech tee, as well as a polo and a hoodie. So no matter what the weather is, what look you're going for, we have you covered. And if you want a jersey, all you got to do is ask. The production time is actually great. It's about a month turnaround time from the time I place the order on them, which it's a custom order because it's got your name on it, to my door. And then from that time, I have to then ship it to you, which is not going to take all that much longer. So you're looking at a pretty quick, somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks would be my guess from the time you place the order on that, which is really, really cool. We're also going to be doing some hats, both dad caps, flat brim, and scullies. So if you're interested in that stuff too, we got you covered. I'm just working on getting those made. I'm making them with a couple of different companies just to see who's kind of come out the best, who can make what I like and do it in a timely manner. A lot of these companies are back ordered when it comes to embroidery and stuff like that. So we're just seeing what options I have available. But we'll be getting all that stuff out and more shortly. I'm also working on talking about video series. I'm working on some besides these like free videos, I'm going to be doing some paid programs. So if you live in a location where training isn't readily available without traveling significantly, or you're such a busy bird with work, with home life, with whatever it is that you have going on, that you can't get out and train as much as you'd like to, I'm going to be putting out a video series that is a paid training series. But unlike a lot of those other ones that are out there already, it is going to be based on your schedule. You can work on it as you please. And it'll give you the best training that I can possibly give you through video that you can watch and repeat on your own, both dry fire, live fire, etc. So doing what I can there to help the community keep training. And it's also good if you're uncomfortable, if you're new to firearms and maybe you're a little intimidated to step into a class. This is a chance for you to learn something on your own and kind of get you up to speed so that now you can go into a class feeling more confident, which is a big main goal of mine. I want people to feel confident when it comes to firearms, especially. You should really understand them and feel comfortable with them and feel confident behind them. So we're working on that too. I think that's really it. So on that note, guys, I got to get packing up. I got a flight later today to catch. So keep training, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
You're listening to the Ricochet Report.